Ruy Lopez opening, Berlin, Rio Gambit accepted, 5.Re1 and D66.NXE5. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. Sharp games are frequently the result of starting with the king's pawn, since it dominates the center and frees up the bishop and queen on the light squares. A typical answer is e5, which builds a position in the middle, controls d4, and frees up the queen and bishop on the dark square. The move nf3 advances the knight toward the center, engages the e5 piece in combat, and sets up a castle. nc6 defends the pawn on e5, advances the knight toward the center, and scans the d4 square. The Ruy Lopez opening develops the bishop to immediately attack the knight on c6, the lone defender of the e5 pawn. nf6 advances the knight and engages in an attack on the exposed e4 pawn. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. nxe4 captures the e4 pawn and places the knight in the center of the board, where it controls many important squares. 1 rupee activates the rook and attacks the knight on e4. nd6 retreats the knight to a central square that attacks the bishop on b5 and controls the e4 and c4 squares. nxe5 captures the e5 pawn, centralizes the knight and attacks the knight on c6. Backs off. Recaptures. This blocks the check from an opposing rook. Castling gets the king to a safer square, out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Castling to the same side of the board as the opponent avoids some of the attacking associated with opposite side castling. By doing this, a knight moves out of its beginning square and into the action. This wins a tempo by threatening a rook and forcing it to move away. This move puts the rook on a safer square. It is the last book move. The bishop will be better off as a result of this. That's good. That's a decent move. That's good. This wins a knight's tempo while also developing a piece. It is ideal. It is a fair deal after all captures. It is ideal. Backs off. It is ideal. This prepares the bishop for development. It is good. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening.